game, finally. On the pistol round, JDM has actually got Kid Smoke, and it's 2 players on SK, Cold and Fallen, who have gone Smoke Flash Flash.
It's going to be an immediate group up from SK straight towards that A site. Liquid, they do have 3 players directly here. Nitro inside of the smoke, and he's going to make contact here. Face to face as he squeaks his way by. 3 quick frags for Liquid before SK find anything, and they are going to double down, but it's Fur left to the 1v3, trying at a distance to use that Glock. He knows that there's a second pistol, and he's going to go ahead and grab that. So the lurk coming in from behind could cost him, and it does. That's Liquid with the opening round of this season.
JDM didn't even have to let go of his smoke, and it's kind of interesting. I don't know where the smokes from SK plumed, but we didn't see them be that effective. I think here's one to kind of deny line of sight of vision from Ivy, but as we can see, was able to subvert that risk by going on top of the train. JDM getting 2 kills off the back of it as well. So the player they tried to neutralize ends up being the most important player of the round for Liquid, and doesn't have to spend any more money, or at least save 700 bucks going into this round. Where they've decided to pre-nade T-Con to try to get off free damage, deny any rushes, and have moved into what looks like a rifle split, but instead of, I think, throwing nades, they're going to just look to take individual fights.
Yeah, they've got 3 of those deagles. Very good at plucking men off the back line, but it's Phelps who gets plucked off of Ivy. Twists, catches him with his back turned as he tries to dodge the flashbang. Can't dodge death. Suddenly SK are down to that 4v5, so odds now slightly ever more in the favor of Liquid's pocket, but we're going to see SK start to group their way towards the B site.
Yeah, and you do want to do this before you really do go down to that 2 or 3 player mark, because you lose so much effectiveness while having only had pistols, and getting a bomb plant is equivalent to a win for them on a rifle round. So that's all they're going to be looking for. coldzera to try to bait any last attention he can to A. Hold players here as they move in. It looks like the bomb's going to be securely put down.
Yeah, Molotov to burn the feet of Fallen, but Stanislaw catches the head of Taco. And so it is just down to 1 player left. That's coldzera. He had shown his presence over Swords T-Con, so Elige is just going to jump on the bomb. And coldzera is going to lurk back. Kevlar Deagle moving into the next round. Not that bad. They got themselves the bomb plant. That's all they wanted.
I wonder if it was communicated that coldzera was meant to stay in T-Con and fight as long as possible. Knowing that someone was at E-Box meant that he could actually guarantee that there are only going to be maximum 4 players inside. And I think for Liquid, because of that constant threat, they actually had more than 1 player pay attention to A, and that allowed SK to get down that ramp. I want to say, either way, big win for SK, who really needed a plant there in the second round. Did spend quite a bit of money in spite of that, but at least saved 1 deagle. That's something.
Buying a couple more deagles with that one, but already Fallen falls to the bottom of the ladder, to the MP9 of Elige, who looks to find another. Taco baits the shot, though. We've got damage dwindling down the entirety of SK, but JDM making quick work of 1 as Nitro takes the next 2, and it's just coldzera yet again, still with that deagle.
And again here, his goal is just to do damage. I think invested in head armor for this round. Immediately gets that level 3 helmet taken off. And they move into this round now with a full buy. Liquid have the option to either recycle the guns they used in the previous round or look to upgrade a few. And it seems like it's going to be a complete bonus for a round for them, as every single one of their players has enough for full rebuys, doing an excellent job cleaning up on those anti-ecos. And we'll be hanging on to 2 MP9s and a scout. If you have an op, then you might be forced to upgrade your other weapons just to make sure you win the round, because you not only lose the round, you lose the op. But in this circumstance, they might be able to get away with this.
Going for some early Ivy presence as 2 of the players of Liquid smoking and sectioning off the T side. They could get cheeky with a boost here. There are still shots being sporadically sprayed through. But twists to the top side, sees Fallen at a distance. Now he's got that op, so you've got to be cautious, but they also know the man's up close. So 2 players revealed and 1 taken down on the other side. That's Liquid to the 4v5.
It really was Fallen who has been at the forefront of taking control of Ivy and stressing the importance of it. Always pushing down there and trying to trade out whenever possible. So it's no surprise to me that we see Liquid fight for a very important part of the map. Whoa, that almost was another free kill.
Risky play, but this is also risky. Fallen pushing up close, gets caught fully flashed, and Twist takes him down. Phelps unable to trade just yet, but he does go charging through the smoke. coldzera finding one frag, will put it to the 3v3, but SK are already softened up. Another headshot connects, so all 3 targets tagged. And Elige just lingers next to these flames as Phelps has crept his way behind Ivy. Elige is aware of this. Twists could have called that someone may have gotten past him. Elige takes one duel and gets the best of Fur. Meanwhile, Twist spots the next, and it's just coldzera left. Yet again, he is the last man, but this time he goes down.
Yeah, very interesting round. As we saw, initially losing Stanislaw on that Ivy push and not getting anything for it, and then eventually having to fight Ivy once again. Twist being very annoying here and getting his 2 kills. Obviously, catching Phelps, who was actually trying to lurk out from Ivy, and caught him on the second peak. But now Liquid, instead of upgrading, are able to pick up 3 AKs off the back of that. So full nades, 3 AKs, tons of money left over. SK back on a save, another round to add to the bank, and this couldn't be a better start for Liquid.
Ooh, nice kill to Phelps. Twists catches him. Of course, SK just desperately looking for some kind of a success in this round. Fallen does get himself outside, but Nitro puts him to the grave. Again, we see some utilities being used over on Ivy, obscuring the vision of SK as they try to pry inwards. Taco cowering behind that server box as Elige finds coldzera. That one's through the edge of the box. Fur dropped off T-Con. So yet again, Team Liquid making a real bang for their buck. Despite investing and not getting the bonus of the SMGs, they're at least not losing anybody in this round for the time being. Keep a lot of grenades as well. Sure, they use some flashbangs, but they've got the majority left over.
Yeah, I mean, forfeiting the AK for an SMG just wouldn't make any sense, and they've just gotten so many of them. Like, we're already with players who have above 10K at the 5th round. It's a really unreal start. And what's really interesting is that SK haven't done any economic damage moving into this. We've had a total of 4 kills in 5 rounds, which is crazy to think about. If each of those players got an extra kill, that might be an entire buy off Liquid in a rifle round, meaning they'd have half the money, be 1 away from a save potentially. And in this circumstance, they're doing so much better than that. It's going to be SK to need to win 2 rifle rounds in a row just before Liquid even have to think about saving.
Stanislaw gets aggressive already, and he is all alone here, so risky play. Could leave that B site open, but Nitro gets close, and Fur will take him down. That's the opening frag for SK, and a man advantage at that. JDM knows he's got him pinned to the left side, so Elige will attempt to burn him out, and now the smoke covers it up. So JDM does not know whether or not he's left. This is going to be a good opportunity for SK now to employ their tactics.
A lot of presence to the middle of outside and a rotator for inner. I think at certain point in this round, Liquid are going to either stack one or the other side. And for fear that with this advantage, SK will be able to press it and not mess up like they did on that previous rifle round. And here we have Phelps getting very aggressive. He's alone, however.
Twists is still up close, was playing to the opposite side previously, but it's a trade frag here for Liquid. And now the 3v3 as Twist sprays at a distance. He does go down, and SK continue forward. They're going to smoke off the Z, forcing Elige downwards. They know he's there. But of course, it's Stanislaw who's yet to be revealed. coldzera keeps the players towards Ivy pinned. Elige tries to make a bit of a ruckus as Stanislaw gets up close. He's going to get the blind side onto Fur. That's 1 down and 2 left over. Kits on both, but no nades for anyone involved. Taco to the side of the E-box gets dropped next, and it's all on the Opera. Cold goes out, and the shot goes astray. Doesn't see the man above, and that's Stan and Elige with a 2v3 on the bomb site.
In these 2 rifle rounds, we've had 2 4v5 victories for Liquid. And both these times, it has been Twist to be able to even out, this time killing Phelps at Ivy, and obviously a 2v3 retake beyond that as well, which is crazy to think about. I think we actually saw Cold miss a couple of shots from ladder that he would have normally hit. And again, some of this stuff you might be able to put to the player break, but at the same time, you know, it's important that, and they know they had to be informed coming into this season. So incredible start so far from Liquid. Kind of disappointing to see a team lose a 4v5 no matter who they are, because that's just not good Counter-Strike, but at the same time, with the shots that are being hit, it's almost forgivable.
Fur gets himself aggressively outside this time already. Sees the man to the far, but that's Twists with another kill. And here comes Nitro. No, it's Twists with 3. And Elige trying to get up close and personal to kick in the teeth of what's left of SK, but instead it's his head that gets popped. And SK Gaming with a chance back into this round until JDM takes coldzera down and leaves Fallen 1v3. Twists just playing patient, does get snubbed out of that one. And this is going to leave Fallen with a minute on the clock and a 1v2 clutch on the table.
Quite a winnable situation. 50 seconds remaining. He has to recover the bomb, has been spotted, but it's also in Liquid's best interest to just give it to him, considering they can't help each other and wouldn't want to make this a 1v1 for no reason. So here it is. It looks like the plant will also be forfeited as our man Stanislaw is working his way back to inner to go for a 2-man push through Z.
Of course, still 2 smokes for Liquid to section off places on the retake. JDM nearly gets caught by Fallen. So now he knows that there's at least 1 man here. But Stanislaw looks to play the old bait and switch. Not that he's going to need it. JDM peeking wide, takes him down, and that's now 7 consecutive rounds for Liquid.
Indeed, and we did see that round end up as nearly a 2v5 victory for SK. If Fallen had gotten that kill, it was all up in the air, and we're going to take a look at that Twist 3K one more time since we saw it from a different player's perspective. Long range spray down on the first guy, and both these guys coming out of T-Con. Taking bullets for friends here. Fantastic stuff from Twist, who's been a monster at Ivy past for sure.
He's just been a monster as of late, ever since his addition to Liquid.
Yeah,
very consistent fragger.
It's certainly not the reason they didn't qualify for the major, that's for sure. He played well. And aggressive in ladder. Another buy up from SK, who are just looking to get anything here. Crack peek from Twist, just to try to spot some motions that he can leave when he needs to. But again, he's been a very annoying at Ivy, and the funniest part is that he's crossing in front of Ops as well. Absolutely no fear, and that might cost him at some point, but at the moment it seems to be paying off.
Towards the start of this game, we did see Twists coupling with another player towards Ivy. This time, seems like they're giving him more space to do it solo. Instead, stacking up towards that B site and the side of ladder, where Elige holds the line. coldzera keeping him honest. There's already just 50 seconds left for SK to play off of. They've got no information because Liquid aren't getting too aggressive.
Just to condition their opponents, made sure to make presence at Ivy just like they have been every single other round, but now have decided to move inner. Unfortunately, still 5v5.
So we're going to see the smokes deployed towards the site. JDM still on high. He does have Stan underneath him, but that's where Taco now looks to entry. And Stanislaw goes down. Phelps as well, finding a frag, but JDM still alive, and that op reigns supreme as it's down to the 2v3. Fallen able to find the bomb plant, and then as he looks upwards, Twist catches the headshot, so it's all on Phelps, and Nitro's already got his number, checking the kneecaps and getting Liquid to an 8.
Man, you got to hand it to Liquid. They had everything going for them that round. SK tried to be annoying at Ivy as they just have always been, as they have been for these last 2 rifle rounds, doing everything they have been normally, not giving Liquid any tells whatsoever. But because they weren't able to get a kill this time, because they weren't even able to take control of anything, we even had a player in ladder to make sure that it wasn't going to be a fake back to outer, making sure that our player who was pushed up inner with his teammate and Z were both able to stand there and know with conviction that it was going to be their site that was about to be hit. And that allowed Liquid to, even if they were to lose some kills, be fully ready in every situation for an inner hit.
coldzera standing in the flames, roasts alive to the incendiary of Nitro. So, an opening 5v4 already here for Liquid. They continue on this rampage, but Phelps looks to take the place of his dead comrade. Elige to the top side of the bomb site, finds another frag, and Nitro walks right by Fur, who executes him with ease. Still going to be a man advantage, but another bomb plant for SK until Stanislaw comes out from ladder and twists from Ivy. Just pincers onto the bomb site, taking Liquid to the 9-0 start. This just doesn't slow down Launders. Even despite SK finding consistent bomb plants, it's like Liquid are letting them have it because they're so successful in these retakes.
Yeah, and it does come to that at this point where, you know, it's annoying to have to fight up against rifles every single round you want to buy, but you know that that's working. So allowing the bomb to go down, not getting too aggressive early on, and letting the round play out has always worked for you is such a good idea. And I think we have Stanislaw making a smart player. They're pushing inner because he's noticed that when they do go fast outside, since they haven't had any results, they've been committing most of their people there. They haven't decided to fake because they haven't been able to make anything happen in the early round, and that's I think that's what tipped them off. So SK are going to be kind of salty about that fact. He was a huge player in that last round, getting those 2 kills from ladder room, and there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to do it again in the future, which means that SK are going to have to play less people inside.
Yet again, Team Liquid just showing some early presence. A couple of nades downrange to keep SK honest. And then they just pump the brakes. You see the Molotov and the smoke grenade over towards the B ramp, but it's like SK have their eyes set on A. Elige from Zed dealing damage back versus Fur. And Twist is fully blind, so he's not going to be able to help out in this gunfight, not as of yet, as smokes continue to plume. 2 quick frags, though, for Liquid. Excellently done, as they do hold SK back. And 2 of these remaining 3 players for the Brazilians are already heavily tagged. So their job certainly not easy, as they have 45 seconds left. They've hit a bit of a wall towards this A site. They have slowed things down. And coldzera catches the headshot onto Stan, so that's something to play off of. Fallen up close. He's been able to creep near Nitro, who does duel to the top side of the trains where coldzera goes down. Elige just looking to spot as a distance twists by his side. And that bomb's still not yet on site.
Not many options here.
Ooh, but one man gets crossed. It's all on Fallen, tries to find the plant desperately so. Twist spots him, but not in time. That's another plant here for SK.
Yeah, a little bit of a spectator discrepancy there, as he certainly wasn't able to see him like we could in that smoke. There it is, 10-0 for Liquid, excuse me. What a start. And again, another outside play that was relatively fast, a lot of pressure being put on multiple choke points all at once. SK kind of getting away with it, getting outside, but in the process, Liquid hitting every single one of their shots, getting dinks off left, right, and center, and just not letting them aggress comfortably with that consistent man advantage. And it seems like the only times that SK are able to do it is when they get the 1 kill isolated with no ability to move on that kill. And when they do go outside in numbers, they aren't able to get the opening. So hard to tell if these patterns are quite simply coincidental, or if it's because Liquid are much better versus executes, which it seems like they're pretty well apt to deal with. Phelps again, aggressive by himself at Ivy. This time he's got 2 players to mess with here. Phelps missing his first bullet, but still getting away with the kill. Another player, Fur, the tag team duo, coming through and shutting up Ivy.
It's a big advantage, but Nitro looks to take it back as he spams through what looked like a slight crack, but it's not the case. It's only once Phelps walks in that he goes down. So SK have lost the 2-man advantage, but do still hold one over the heads of Liquid. Molotov towards T-Con. Nitro duels yet once more, and no, not like this. SK having lost the advantage they were able to fight for, but Fur is still over towards the B site, behind enemy lines, and trying to creep this kill onto Stanislaw. They go back and forth, but Stan gives up his back, and down he goes. So it's all on Nitro, who already has 3 frags in this round. Would need all 5 to close it out.
It's not looking like it's going to be an interplay. Taco just making sure of ladder is going to run inner, knowing that they have Z covered, and all of back lanes really. Fur, as he lurked in the site, got a lot of information here, and if Nitro gets this opening kill, it could get weird, but oh, wow. Catching him on that shoulder peek. SK close him around finally with the help of Fur sneaking his way outside. Hard to say that that is a sustainable way to continue to win rounds for SK on T side, but at the same time, they'll take what they can get at this moment. Even if they win a couple, it's going to mean a lot for them because they are just not looking very solid at all.
I mean, consistency is going to be what's important here. 10-5 of a half. If SK win out from this point on, they're still going to be par for the course. Certainly turn this on its head. Again, big advantage early on for Liquid. As Fur gets shut down, but Taco comes out and sprays to connect for the first and second. Nice control of the AK to find that 4v3. JDM smoked off despite Twist being by his side, wary of the Ivy push, seeing as SK have been there before. Molotov gets extinguished from Stan, but JDM still takes one down. And that's going to be Liquid swinging it back to equal numbers yet once more. Bomb able to cross as the frag rains out. And now it's Liquid back on the retake. They're going to be coming in from 3 separate sides. 1v1 versus Fallen, and it goes SK's way. So now Liquid really have to kick this one into gear. They're going to have the single Molotov to come back in with. SK just their rifles, but the much stronger positioning as Fallen wraps all the way back around to the ladder, where now Stanislaw reveals himself, takes the kill towards sight, and he's wary of the T-Con, but it's Phelps from on high that takes himself the kill, and SK's second round of the board.
Man, there are some uncharacteristic whiffs going on both sides. coldzera's missing a lot of shots. Taco took forever to get this first kill. And I mean, like, to my own standards, I mean, I would let myself, if I got an ace and that was one of the kills, I'd probably still upload it. But for Taco, it just it doesn't seem normal that he's taking so long to finish somebody off. Fur had the opportunity on that previous round where he lurked inner and he had that position held on Z and missed a couple of one-taps that he probably would have got normally. So it's getting strange. JDM punished, though, immediately through the fire and smoke at Ivy in the midst of the chaos. Turns out the loser, Twist as well, is hurt. So this is a big win. Ivy control and op taken. Your other Ivy player is now in a position where he can't play as aggressively as he likes. That's a big deal as well. But even on that last round when they got outside, it seemed like they took a long time to get that bomb down. And I worried about them.
There were certainly openings for Liquid. In this round, Ivy could be one of those. We see SK looking to split yet again, but it's Twist who splits the head of Fur. And yet again, we're into the 4v4. SK having a hard time of holding on to these player advantages.
Indeed.
But Phelps' ability to creep out Ivy has been shown before. And this time it's only Twists to hold it off in the same spot that he killed Phelps' teammate. He gets the chance at dealing damage, but falls off the top side of the train.
So your number 4 man now has to worry about the fact that the back lanes are compromised because of that smoke, whether Phelps uses it or not, and Twist also has to worry about this lurk, which seems he is completely cognizant of.
Steel deals some damage, and this now pulls the trigger on that execution. Elige to the top side of Zed, peeks wide, drops the bomb. There's 15 seconds left on the clock, so SK need to get it in. And Taco will do exactly that. As Stanislaw looks to come in from ladder yet once more. It's Nitro towards Old Bomb. This could be a strong crossfire towards the site, but they've got to worry about the players behind the trains instead. Stan finds one, Cold takes the trade, Nitro gets the next, so it is down to this 1v1 yet again. coldzera to tap. Oh, gets completely red. Nitro re-peeking into the train yard, immediately finding the kill, and despite no kit, still walks away with the defuse.
I want to say that his teammate called that he was there at Olaf, but I'm not sure. It seemed like he was certain at that moment. Really nice peek there. No chance for Phelps. And great after plant spots from SK, but here it is. Suddenly certain that coldzera was going to peek after that tap. Was able to take him out of the round. Really nice stuff. Good recovery. 11-2 now. And yeah, that would have actually been ugly for them. I think whoever won that round had the ability to force the other person to either save or force buy. And we see SK have to do the latter.
Again, we said that 10-5 would have been all right for SK. This certainly puts a wrench in the works. Lots of spam going on from both sides. Liquid to the brown halls and SK over on Ivy.
No one's actually pushing up to get information inner, and it's Liquid who like playing 2 players here. So it seems as though SK feel like they don't have to play into that. Instead, just try to bait these two players over to Ivy. And it seems to be enough to help them hold outside, which is interesting. No one is playing close up. All these positions are positions that you may be smoked out of. And maybe because of that, an execute coming through.
Ladder hasn't been much of an issue for them. Liege has been playing further back. coldzera's going to get pinned as the rest of SK push in. Twists, flashes through the smoke as Nitro tries to retreat, but he's still up close where he now goes down. It's Fallen with an opening frag and Fur taking the next. So this is a great entry from SK. Despite one head of the snake sectioned off, and all of the smoke on site, they get it in regardless. Stanislav finding Taco to the bottom side of the ladder, and now Twists already with the next kill. 3v3, and 2 players from SK still on pistols. Those pistols, all that's left now, as Twists finds another. Again, these retakes have been on point, and Twists continues the form with a 4K in the round, 3 of which are headshots. JDM with the defuse, and Liquid to 12.
Wow, absolutely beast mode. I think one of the reasons SK were even that close to winning the round was because Fallen got that initial kill with the Tech 9. But obviously Twist on this retake, making it look so easy. They moved into 3 different positions here and was able to get a kill in every single one of them. And probably the last one off of the comms because of the noise that was made when he shot at ladder, but still. Wow. So useful he's been. Last round of the half. And it's been quite a hectic one. SK have decided to force up, because they decided to force up on that last round, are in a situation where they have to force up again. They could have taken the L, but then maybe wouldn't have had a great buy in this round anyway, and that's why we see the double force. Doesn't necessarily mean they're on tilt.
JDM not going to drop just yet. Will retreat towards the oil tankard. Liege with an opening kill onto Phelps, but now the rest of SK just come into the B site where they continue to drop like flies. Taco dropping into the site, but now he's all that's left. He's able to grab 1 kill off the Galil, but Stanislav stops him there, and that concludes the opening half of Train.
Wow. Let's take a look at those highlights from this match, and I think in those 15 rounds it's been a lot of twists, that's for sure. Yeah,
by all means. So, as we take a short commercial break in between these halves, be sure to stay tuned. You guys are watching the ESL Pro League.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel.
Despite the success of SK in finding bomb plants throughout that half, it was Liquid who found the majority of the rounds. A very lopsided opening here on Train Launders. What are your thoughts after watching that CT side?
What can you say? I mean, there was a lot of, the first 2 rifle rounds. You know, you get off that 5-0 start off the back of a pistol, a couple of anti-ecos, and 2 rifle rounds. On both those first rifle rounds, it was SK to get the opening frag. And you know when you get the opening frag, you have to close out the round. I mean, there's just the stats to back it up that good teams will always close out those rounds. But consistently we saw Liquid come back in spite of that. A lot of it because of Twist's amazing plays at Ivy, his ability to go and get 1 or 2 kills, and like that retake we saw in the last round where he was able to get 4 and just be all over the place really. And when I've talked to him, I've done an interview with him, I think it was at ESL Dallas, where he mentioned that he wouldn't call himself an aggressive player, but he calls himself explosive. And so I think when the pressure's put on him, he's really good at answering back. And that's what we saw round after round.
I think the one that really stands out in my mind is when he gets the 4K on the retake towards that A site, coming in with his teammate over towards Zed. We just saw those duels. Every time he peeks an angle, he was catching an SK player. And despite them, being on still 2 pistols within that round, it being the 14th round of the half, it was just convincing. Like you said, explosive, right? It wasn't just one fight and then allowing for his teammate to reposition. He was clearly the playmaker in those moments, and I think it's for that reason that we see him at the top of his team's scoreboard. 21-5 in the opening half versus SK. But we'll see if the Brazilians can hold things off and at least muster together a more respectful score.
No, we don't see... I don't think SK is... I mean, SK is known for this, and that's being the king of comebacks. People don't probably talk about that enough, how good at that they are. But Liquid are definitely going to be worried about not closing out this pistol. His CT side of Train gives opportunities. Look at this rotate.
Yeah, everybody's coming over, and there's still 2 Molotovs for Liquid to secure their after plant, but damage is being dealt each way as coldzera catches the kill to Elige thanks to Twist's assist. Phelps goes high. He's got JDM beneath him. What a headshot in a second as well. As Phelps is making quick work of what remains of Liquid. They do still have both players on the mollies, but there's a smoke from Fallen to block things off, so they have to find the frag, and they're not. It's going to be the defuse, as SK at least have the pistol to work with.
Really nice retake. Obviously, Phelps coming in with those 2 very important kills makes a massive difference. The hard rotate meant they were so confident that it was inner, that they were really well prepared to make the most of that round. And the fact that they had the kit and the smoke and the defuse and the smoke was perfect. And that's how you plan for the round to pan out as a CT moving into the pistol. When it's the inner take, you usually don't see something like that. It's some variation of it. A spanner gets thrown on the work. Maybe the guy with the kit dies and leaves the smoke. But in that situation, it all went perfectly. Exactly how they wanted it to.
Now we obviously saw that momentous economy of Liquid on their CT side really kick things off, really help them secure those opening 10 rounds. And with the buy here from SK, they've got a similar opportunity, really looking to make the most of these SMGs.
I think this is really healthy, and I think the way they see it is that Liquid got a plant last round. They can expect a buy in the next one. They need to make as much money as they possibly can right now. And it's working. There's no way that they can run into that this would be a waste of money. So there it is, Fur with the 3K and the MP9. I feel like I've seen that way too many times. And the other thing is that I think for SK, they feel like if we're gonna win this game, it's gonna be a long haul back. So we're gonna need to build an economy right now for the very few chances we have to lose any rounds at all. And if we can't win this round with just SMGs, well, we might as well throw it in the bag. So.
SK chucking the majority of those SMGs to the wayside, and upgrading immediately. Justifiably so. Again, that opening bomb plant from Liquid allows for them to get guns here in the 3rd of the second half. And they're playing very passive right now, just hoping that SK go for some kind of ambitious aggression, just kerneling up towards their T-spawn. But that's netted them nothing as of yet. Even despite Stanislaw trying to keep the eyes on Ivy, coldzera has pushed up, but only towards that server box, no further.
Yeah, we still have that jiggle peek inner, as we can see in the overview. That's just to make sure that nobody crosses, and as long as he does this, which you can do for the entire round, they know that it can't be upper, and they don't have to rotate anyone early. Once spotted, however, Liquid can change up their game. Fallen finds a kill.
Yeah, that was on Stanislaw as he attempts to cross. Toying with the player at the bottom of the ladder is Liquid. Now the 4v5 and the utility they have left over, what's their best chance? Do they go for that outer execution or just try to hit the B site?
Oh my god, wow, Liquid actually, excuse me, Elige actually wins that battle. And I was going to talk about how interesting it was that he's not throwing nades, instead using his body as bait to find out if somebody's down there. But that's a huge play. Now everything just changes. Two inner, though. This is actually the wrong site to go to.
Yeah, we've got 2 players per bomb site. Looks like one tries to retreat. That's Taco down. Fur dropping 2 players back in return, but it leaves it equal for the time being. Twists to smoke off the line of sight and find himself the bomb plant. Fallen's on the other side, but he's yet to reveal himself. Coldzera going for the long con as he wraps all the way round. Elige going down, and Twists now all that remains.
Oh, very interesting play. And I don't know. Seems like he's going to definitely find someone before they find him, but the 1v1 will get weird. The plant favors him.
And he gets the kill up close, but Cold finds it. I thought Twists had himself the clutch potential, but Coldzera rips it away from his cold, clammy hands. He's dead, and as is the chance of Liquid. It's going to be SK to 5 already. We've got that nice kill here from Elige. Again, spotting the legs of the other player, spamming through the wood, and catching the kill to Phelps.
You know, I was super salty about the fact that you could hear people throwing or grenades leaving people's hands, but and for one of the reasons was because ladder becomes just so impossible to get down. But that is such a creative and interesting way to bait more attention to you without having to use nades or waste nades at all. And Elige getting the kill too, icing on the cake really. Oh, that's a great, oh my god. It's gonna change your day.
Leaves him worse for wear, as Liquid still able to get themselves towards this A site. And Twists with an opening frag. This is a 5v5 plant, but now SK should be able to do what Liquid successfully did, and that is retake time and time again. Lots of assists across the kill feed, and lots of kills in the pocket of SK. They will find 6, despite Liquid getting the bomb in.
Yeah, really good that they got the plants, obviously. For SK, they would have loved to be able to stop that, considering they had they had a utility advantage, they had a rifle advantage, and now Liquid have a ton of money and have been consistently able to not necessarily get kills on those eco rounds, but get plants, which is much more important. Op is going to be bought up for JDM. Fallen is one player who still looks in form, I'd say, at least in this match, but kind of the first test for SK on their climb back to 13 rounds, which would equalize.
Ooh, JDM scoping in, gets caught by Fallen, and Phelps up close catches Elige. So it's on Twists with his opening to get the T side rolling. Molotov blocks Phelps off. He's just going to keep his eyes on high. He's got teammates towards the site to defend this, but Nitro finds another and Twists to do the same. It's Liquid now. Oh, but a double nade from Taco takes it all just down to Stan. He's creeping in. Taco spotted, but he flicks back, and that's a massive 3K off Taco to give SK another round.
No, we have to see that. I need to see that one more time. The double nade kill from Taco, and then the 1v1. Stan saw the top of his cap and wasn't able to get that headshot. And here it is, the money grenade. Beautiful stuff. I mean, the round should have been over, right? Like, there was no, it didn't seem like Liquid were going to be able to win that. Phelps got that first kill at ladder. Fallen wins his op duel versus JDM at T-Con. And even still, bomb almost goes down inside with a man advantage for Liquid. What can you really say about that? Liquid are actually buying up partially. They've got too much money to have to completely save, but don't have quite enough to invest in a complete rifle round. So I want to make sure they can buy next round.
These 2 smoke grenades open a push here for Stanislav. He's able to get past the first, but Phelps already spots it. And Taco's just making quick work of this entry in. Nitro, all that's left over, and Fur's rotation catches those kills. So that's going to be SK with another easy round of the board. This time the bomb stopped as well.
Yes, and SK are starting to hemorrhage the bleeding, which is a really good sign for them. And with those very lopsided odds moving into the series. Great cleanup, no bomb plants, big win. Liquid, however, were set to buy no matter what. And just like on that previous round, they have to weigh their options. They have to see how aggressively do we want to use JDM, what's he want to do? Do they want to go down ladder that quickly? And Coldzera actually walks back through the smoke because he doesn't want to get spammed, but it looks like he'll be spammed anyway. I'm not sure where Elige just died. But another 5v4.
The majority of those 5 still over towards that A site. Maybe having felt that early Ivy pressure, as they've now put a second player over towards B. So just shifting their forces, evening the field, and anticipating any kind of play that Liquid could throw their way. Smoke to the left side of Ivy, as JDM will retreat here.
Yeah, and kind of playing into the hand of SK right now, who have pretty much forfeited any Ivy presence that they had, which means they're extremely ready for T-Con, extremely ready for ladder, and extremely ready for inner.
Actually reading this rotation then, and emphasizing presence towards where Liquid are headed. Now, even if Liquid were to just immediately U-turn and head back towards the ladder A push, again, SK's in position for this. There's still enough utility on Liquid, not only for the execution, but the after plant to boot. That Molotov at 20 seconds is really going to force things into an awkward spot. It gets smoked out on SK's terms as Taco takes one off the top side. Fur drops another on ramp. So what's left of Liquid will save this round. And that's going to be SK now on 9. Oh, this comeback's real, Londers.
Yeah, really in their heads at this point. SK probably feeling a lot more comfortable, especially when you're paid off with such a good read, where you have 5 players alive, but you're still playing 2 inner, you're not having anyone watch IV, you're completely calling out Liquid's plans and maybe assuming that they aren't going to abuse this part of the map. Then, I mean, you know, the fact that they do run inner, the fact that all those nades were timed perfectly, even though Liquid gave them no tells, that's back to the drawing board for Liquid, and that's a lot of confidence gain for SK. And I assume we have maybe a tactical pause, and that's been confirmed. A good idea for Liquid to think about this. Now, obviously, just because of what we talked about in that previous round, if Liquid did abuse Ivy a little bit more, or maybe abused it later in the round, it seems that SK are going off of a tendency that maybe they had anticipated before the match started, because I don't see anything that would have tipped them off into thinking that they wouldn't have to go up against Ivy abuse based on these CT rounds that they've played out already. So Liquid, I think, need a drastic change of pace, and I'm not sure that they're going to be able to have the read because of the information that they didn't gather at Ivy in those previous rounds.
Ooh, this time Stan goes for the immediate cross, so coldzera unable to retreat. JDM's going to come join forces. Now, he's going to be that single opper on Liquid, as there are still double ops for SK. One of which is Fallen, who's just to the opposite side of Ivy. We saw him cross and get inside of the site once his teammate died.
Interesting to see that aggression once again. coldzera was flashed off of it in the previous round and managed to get away with his life. This time just ate the flash and died. I wonder if that's a mistake that needs to be learned from. As the Ivy pressure continues to be put on, Liquid are feeling great. Minute left, they have a kill. That's a huge deal. Still have 3 smokes to use for utility, and that leaves their options wide open. SK can't play 2 inner in this situation unless they want to gamble stack. But it doesn't seem like Liquid are giving them any reasons to do so. And just like SK, they're going to leave 1 person in Ivy to make presence, and that is maybe an abusable smoke.
What is this smoke grenade? Very weird bounce. It allows an opening here for Liquid to try and play off of, but they've lost one of their players. So Twist's response is key. That's clearing Phelps from ladder room as Stan comes in off Ivy. Just down to 2 players is SK, and both of which to the backside of the train yard. Taco on the op, tries to fire off, and the bomb's been dropped. That's 10 seconds to the clock, and Stanislaw with a response, but Fur 1v3.
Oh, he can't plant.
It's done.
Wait, he might get this kill. Oh my god. In the last moments of the round. Unbelievable.
That is 2 heartbreaking losses now for Team Liquid. The one round where Taco is able to get the double frag grenade and then the cleanup kill on Stanislaw, and now this one here where the time is of the essence. He's able to walk away with a 10th round for SK. Liquid had such an opening on that bomb site. All the kills go their way. Perfect timing between T-Con and Ivy, but it still gets locked out. Lady Luck is on the side of SK tonight.
And it's like, how many heartbreaks do you have left? It gets worse and worse, and you start to forget the context of those losses and just start piling them on as loss, 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 loss. And that definitely affects your confidence. But I was going to talk about how Fallen was just so unaware of the fact that Ivy was possible. Fur was wasting his time there behind the smoke, or maybe could have watched it, just not dedicated himself to it, so that Fallen maybe didn't have to watch outside as hard. Or maybe he should have just been in a more safe position. Either way, there were so many flaws in the way that they were handling that aggression, and Liquid were able to take advantage of it. It's a round win in some regards, but this game is getting too close to give Liquid any handouts.
8 consecutive rounds thus far from SK. And not a single T round to the board for Liquid yet. But yet again, they've got themselves in a prime position to split into this A site. SK currently committed to these forward positions. Even with a wall of smokes, they'll be able to just try and lock down the site itself. They've still got that op of Fallen nearby. coldzera on the other side of E-Box will find the opening frag, and he sprays for the second, but Nitro stops him there. Stan again coming in on Ivy at the perfect time. Takes it to the 3v2. 15 seconds left, but there are no CTs who remain. SK gets completely slain as Liquid find 14.
Yeah, huge play from Stan, timing it so well once again. Able to abuse Fallen as he's forced to turn around, and it seems like Fallen's been in these positions where he's ready to divide his attention up between 2 choke points, but sometimes that costs him the entire round. And you have to wonder if that's the best option for him at all times. I think that allows SK to play lighter outside when they need to, but at the same time, if it's a known strategy, obviously, Liquid seem to be abusing it.
Nearly the same setup, except for the bomb lingers toward the top halls. And there's less emphasis over on Ivy.
A lot of presence in ladder. This is a huge victory to have control this early. A player could just walk in. But if they don't want to retake it, they can molly him out of this position, and a fight will be had. Oh, it's actually Phelps with a very careful peek, it looked like, to get that kill.
Changing up the aggressive stance from SK. As opposed to having a player behind E-Box, they just play the close wall. Phelps gets flashed in. Phelps finds that 5v4. But it's Liquid who find an opportunity towards the B site unless Fur rips it from their hands. Nitro already on the cross. He's got that bomb, and up close he will take him down. As he attempts to retreat back up, Taco just hopes they walk in. SK yet to fully commit on this rotation. They'll take the safe route all the way through spawn.
They're not in a great spot. No one to truly cover this bomb. Taco's about to be activated. Stanislaw does have his left side, though. And it's 3v3.
It's a good coverage of the bomb planter, but coldzera's already crept his way high. Stanislaw needs to hold off on Zed because they've lost the player towards site, so it's all on JDM. Smokes off the long lane and could go high.
No kit.
He has no utility. And as said, no kits for SK. This is going to be a tough spot for him as Phelps is to the top side of the train. coldzera's on the bomb, and Phelps just clears him out. So SK with another round. Liquid to stagnate on 14.
If Phelps so much as missed his head, 100% coldzera gets taken out of the round. It's a 1v1. That's anyone's game. Very, very close. Great crosshair placement from Phelps to take him out of upper. Saved his teammate completely. Too quick as well. 14-11, Liquid not looking so bad. They're close to the point that with SK being so low every round, any one round could result in the game being won. That being said, it's going to be a save, and it's actually going to be majority Glocks as well, so Liquid going to be looking for a bomb plant. Certainly not going to be looking to win the round or try to, and instead, at best, do as much damage as possible.
Not even a single smoke to help their entry in. It's going to be that single flashbang to play off of. Taco preemptively pops the molly, forcing Liquid high. And that's where he just starts to slay 2 of them.
Oh.
Fur's rotation in finds 1. SK find all 5. A very convincing round yet again. No bomb plant, no kills, nothing.
Yep, nothing. And that really does even the playing field. 2-round differential in the last few rounds of the game. Good spray, a lot of damage here, and obviously that quality nade to finish things off. Deny any chance of a plant. JDM hasn't had that much impact opping And it's largely because Fallen has just been out-offing him. We haven't really seen a lot of those kills. And again, Ivy presence being taken for SK Gaming. They know it's going to be fought for, but as a terrorist, you have a lot of safe ways of approaching it. Flashes to make sure that no one can peek. Teammates to back you up in unknown numbers, whereas CTs are never going to have more than 2. And so it's been a toss-up as well, whether or not SK have been able to take control of it. And it's always in the early round that they try to go for these aggressive plays. So I think it's more fortunate for them that they weren't able to do anything. But that being said, SK are a little battered at Ivy. Maybe they were feeling kind of unconfident, gave it up early. And I think Liquid, or Stanislaus specifically, was aware that all he had to do was make a little bit of presence to push them back a little bit.
Now we've seen SK preemptively rotate towards that B site, but this time it's not the case. They're going to leave 3 on A as Liquid get into position for the entry. There's not even going to be that closest head rotator for the defense. They're relying on these bomb site players thoroughly. Damage each way, but Elige goes deep. No one checks below, and that's where Fur finds 1. But Liquid come out on top with a 4 versus 3 and what could be overtime secured. They just need to hold on. And they've already got Elige deep into CT spawn. But 2 players want to check this. Great flash, and Elige, he's going to spray, but he goes down. It's Cold Zera with the kill, and trying to get this retake rolling is SK. Fallen through the boxes, finds the headshot, and Stanislaus with the response. But Fallen jumping downwards, up close with the next. His op is on point, and it's down to the 1v1. Cold knows where Stan is. It's a quick execution. The spinal tap connects.
No.
But there's just no time, Launders. That's Liquid with 15.
Oh my god, okay. Jesus. Falling with the headshot, god damn. That was so good. And then baiting the shot out coming down the ramp as well with that airstrafe. Fire stuff. What a retake that would have been. And then the flash in the beginning to kill Elige. That is not a common thing to do.
I can't help but feel like because they didn't have that fast rotation towards Zed and they weren't sure if there was going to be Liquid players pushed that deep in, that it's just one of those insurance policies. You check it because there could be somebody there.
Yep.
And sure enough, it pays off. It gets that retake rolling, and they almost make it work. But time is important, and it's a fast play into A already from Liquid. They're looking to get this first map done. The majority of their team is lit. Taco takes 2, and that's the bomb included. Further damage dealt, but it's just down to Fallen. We've seen great things in that last round. He's got a full belt of nades to play off of, and plenty of time as well. He's going to swap to the sidearm as he tries to creep in. Twists is lit. And he's the first one up, but it's Nitro with a kill, and it's Team Liquid with the opening map of the season. What a burner that one was.
Yeah, definitely.